Yo, this is Steve Bloom, and you're watching Moana Nui Podcast. We'll be starting soon. Don't go anywhere.
I'm Veronica Taylor, and from myself and Ash Ketchum, I just want to say, Moana Nui, I choose you!
Aloha mai kako, everyone. Welcome to tonight's episode of the Moana Nui Podcast and the February edition of Geek Speak On Sports. As most of you all know, and if you're new to the podcast, my name's Moana. I'm the founder. I'm also a children's book author and a publisher for the Wildcard Chronicles comic book series here at Burning Spear Comics. Welcome to our show. I'm excited to have you all on tonight to chat it up and talk about the latest in sports. But before I hand it over to the crew tonight, I wanted to give a couple shout outs to some Kickstarter campaigns that are live right now and could use our support. The first is from 133 Art, and their Kickstarter is for what they're calling their season pass, and it's essentially a chance to jump in on their pre-order for all of their 2023 content. You can choose from, they have children's books, they have comics and graphics novels of varying types. I'm a huge fan of their projects and creations. The Changa story is really cool. They have kids carvers if you have children and you're looking for new properties to share with them. Definitely check that out. They have digital, physical, and the art's amazing. And it looks like they still have 6 days and just a little over $1,000 to go. So if you can help them out, go ahead and make a pledge. And if that's not in the books for you right now, you could always give a share for this particular project. And I will see if I can put this into the comments so that y'all can go and check out the links. Jason Reeves is a really good guy. He's super supportive of the Black indie community. He also runs a publishing house with this, where he, publishes books for other Black creators. So he does a lot for the community, and I know he would welcome your support for the project that they have going on now, and it looks like it's going through next Wednesday. So if you can, take a look at that one. Alrighty. And then the second one is from another friend of ours, Greg Anderson Elise. He's killing it with this one right now. It's Nana the Wearing Spider, Drums of Ogun. He's doing amazing. He just launched a couple days ago and is really close to his goal already. I had a chance to take a look at this comic and do a preview for it. And it's amazing, from the storytelling to the art. Definitely want folks to jump in on this one too. You can catch up. He has his backlist of books that you can choose from, and then you can also get Drums of Ogun. Congratulations to him. Earlier this week, he also had his first book launching with Scholastic Books, which is amazing. That particular story, it was co-written with Akeem Aliu, who is one of one of the first Black hockey players. And that's another story that I got to check out ahead of time too. It's a great story, great art, and I definitely encourage everybody to check that out. Greg will be on our show next Thursday, so don't forget to come back and join us live. You can ask him questions and hear more behind the scenes of his creation process. Let me throw that one in the link too real quick. And then, yep, okay. So definitely check that out. Again, if you can back it, go ahead and do that. And if it's not the right time, go ahead and hit the share buttons right here, right below. Back this project, super easy. You can get it to Facebook, Twitter, and all the places. So thanks in advance for checking that out, and hope you guys enjoy that. With that said, I am going to hand it over to our folks here on the show tonight. We have our usual crew, except for Candaysee, who is otherwise occupied tonight. So please welcome back James, Joy, and Furious. What's up, guys?
Hey, how you doing?
What's going on?
Doing well. Alrighty, looking forward to tonight's show. I'm gonna hand it over to James, who's gonna take the lead tonight, and have a good time.
All right.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Try and keep y'all entertained for the next little while here as we talk about all things sports related, news and gossip that you can use.
Oh yeah, I found some gossip a few minutes ago that's going to be good. It's regarding one of our favorite former quarterbacks. I use favorite very sarcastically.
Is it Tom Brady?
Did he used to play for the Falcons?
He was drafted by the Falcons.
Yeah, that's what I should have said. Did we draft him? Not did we play him? I'm sorry. I mean, that was the wrong choice of words.
Did he play for the Deflatriots?
No, he did not play for the Deflatriots, but he was drafted by the Falcons. He actually did play like 5.
Romo? Who are we talking? Who is this?
Brett.
Yeah,
the Falcons.
Favre, yeah, Favre. But I don't want to talk about him yet. I want to start off on a positive note. Fisk University in HBCU, over a year and a half, almost a year and a half ago now, pretty much formed their own gymnastics squad. And if you have not followed these young ladies on Twitter or Facebook, I highly suggest you do.
Or Instagram or TikTok, where the young people are.
That too. I'm old. I'm not going to all those platforms.
You sticking to what you know, James?
Sticking to what I know. I favorited them on Facebook. I've seen a couple of tweets.
Get off my lawn.
The TikTok is not for me.
The TikTok.
The TikTok is not for me. But no, they create last month they competed in a super invitational in Las Vegas and they placed 4th.
Wait, but they've only been in existence a little over a year?
Yes. That's what's so amazing about that.
Mm-hmm.
They just ran up in the top 5.
So give them like 10 years.
Right. And one of the athletes, her name is Morgan Price, set the highest score, 9.9 on the Volt. That tweet, that is up on the Big Ten Network's Twitter page.
Nice.
So yeah, you can see that 9.9 Volt. These women are phenomenal.
They are phenomenal. And they are a perfect example of what happens when talent and opportunity meet.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Right, because gymnastics had been an Olympic sport, a collegiate sport, etc., but mainly it was a sport funded by alumni for kids who were legacies for not predominantly white institutions that had the money to the siphon off from the football team to fund all the other things. Like a lot of Big Ten colleges, their golf, tennis, all these other sports are funded by the football team. And so we understand now how much all of that stuff drives the economy of a college. But to have a Black college, which historically doesn't get the funding either from the alumni or from donors to fund their own football team, let alone ancillary teams, to have them be able to put together a gymnastics team is amazing. And now we're seeing that maybe Dominique ain't all that different. Like, I mean, nothing taken away with nothing from Simone Biles or Dominique Dawes, anybody in the past. I dated myself when I said Dominique Dawes. I know that. That's the name that popped in my head because I've been drinking. So, but Simone has done things with her body that they had to start naming stuff the Biles.
Right.
And she's a phenomenal athlete, but there might be more phenomenal athletes out there in the same demographic that she is from. And as much as we talk about the vestiges of things like this, just transatlantic trade and all that kind of stuff, and the breeding that they did with Africans in the United States, there was fallout from that.
Yeah,
you are going to get people whose, think about how many people now that we know whose kids, they were in basketball and so their kids were in basketball. They were in football and so their kids were in football. You know, you just breeding athletes over here. And so it'll be interesting to see what Fisk turns out. They popped fourth the first time ever. Can you imagine if you've been training for something for 10 years of your 15-year life and some chick from a school you never heard of roll up on you talking about what y'all doing in here? I think I can do this. Fourth. All right, deuces. Catch y'all next year. And you know next year they placing on the podium.
Yeah.
So there's a multitude of things to take from this. So the team was initially started because a freshman, Jordan Cromartie, was, convinced by her uncle to attend Fisk
but she
over a Power 5 school
program. Yeah.
Because she wanted to do gymnastics, but she was talking to going to HBCU. So, and talking with her uncle, she pretty much found a way to, get this team off the ground. So more power to her and him for helping get that process started and to where they are now. But that brings up an issue where a lot of folks in our community, African Americans specifically is what I'm talking about, want to play a lot of these sports that don't get a lot of pub, like lacrosse, tennis, and they kind of swimming. Yeah. And it's like, the HBCUs, a lot, I'm not going to say a lot, but several of them are coming around to incorporating a lot of those lesser known sports, amongst our community, because mainly we pretty much focus on the big ones like football, basketball, track, baseball, maybe.
Just stop at track. They don't really support baseball like that.
Well, Morehouse has a baseball team and a lacrosse team.
Since when?
The lacrosse team has been around for at least 5 to 10 years.
Okay.
And the baseball team has been around since I've been there.
Lies.
I know the baseball team has been around for over 20 years because they were there when I was a freshman in the mid-90s. I know the baseball team was there because I knew people on the baseball team. But
you knew people that dressed like baseball players. You didn't know about the baseball team before.
But look, it's the same. Look, your school has volleyball. Not a lot of people know that.
We sure do. Spelman Jaguars volleyball team. My freshman year roommate was on that volleyball team.
So you look at that, and sometimes our black athletes coming out of high school choose white schools, and I'm trying to remember the schools right now, but I know that there was a volleyball team that went to a meet, and it was a Power 5 school, but the team was pretty much 90% African American. And they basically packed up and left because of all the vitriol and racism they were getting from other competitors. It's like, we're not going to compete in this environment. Like, and this is another powerful, this wasn't an HBCU attending this volleyball tournament.
It was a Power 10 school, but they had black players.
Right. The team just happened to be majority, like literally 80-90% black girls, women. And
thank you.
The coach and the players are pretty much, they reported to the officials. The officials did a half-ass job if they did any looking into it at all, and was like, we found no wrongdoing or any evidence of any of this.
Their looking, James, was this.
The same way they look
okay to me.
The same way they look for murderous cops. I didn't see them. They didn't come this way.
Unless they look like us.
Right. We're not going to talk about that tonight because I'm still aggravated.
Anyway, so
Curious, are you on the TARDIS?
Yes, I am.
On the TARDIS.
I'm trying to escape Earth.
But yes, I'm happy for these women. I would like to see more of our HBCUs get into, if not gymnastics, I would like to see more lacrosse teams from HBCUs or golf teams from HBCUs.
I want a golf team from an HBCU so bad. I already have the outfits picked out. They got a name. I stole this name I stole this name from the freshmen at Morehouse when I was there. Because we used to because all of us are freshmen and we couldn't pledge anything, we used to make fun of and make our own little stuff. And they had one called Sling Fi Ding. And I would love to have a golf team, and their fake golf team name was Sling Fi Ding. That would be the most awesomest shit ever. Oh, I could build a crest and everything. I'm doing this. We doing this. Hey, black colleges, holla at me. I got a whole wardrobe. I got colors. I got everything. It's gonna be great.
If your children are not currently in bed, they should be.
So, Joy, speaking of the uniforms, did you all see? I don't remember if we talked about it or not, but one of the big designers released like old timey, and I say old timer from like maybe the 20s, 30s, and 40s of what black college students would have been wearing back then.
Yeah, it was Hilfiger. I think
okay, that's what it was. I can imagine the golf uniforms having somewhat of an old time feel.
I was already there. Yeah, it was gonna be great. Yeah, they had like the somewhere around the Roaring 20s look, and they based it off of old pictures from HBCUs in the early 1900s. Yeah.
Cool.
Very much had a Black Wall Street feel to it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because
that stuff was expensive though. I remember when it came out, all my friends was like, "I'm about to get what? You want how much?" It still sold out though.
Right, it did. I mean, remember, yes, there was because he was the person who designed it. He's a HBCU alum. I forget which school he went to.
Yep, he was.
That's
we got disposable income now.
I mean, look, that's what happens when you get us in the room to make decisions. Yep. You get stuff like that, and like Joy said, it sold out because the Spelman and Morehouse stuff came out, and I remember all my alumni groups was like, "Yo, y'all seen this?" Like, "Yeah, man, I might have to cop some of this." And then we saw the price. It was like, "Yeah, I need my kidneys because I like drinking."
Right. I got to have at least one kidney in the freezer at all times.
Right.
But I went on and I saw the prices, and at my level, like you said, with disposable income, because I run my own business and stuff, I was like, I think I'm gonna get large sold out, extra large sold out, medium sold out. Goddamn, well, I cannot squeeze into a medium, let alone a small. And so they sold out quick, and then even the smalls were gone. And this was like day 4.
Oh, wow.
Gone. It was great. But
on the one hand, yay, because I like seeing stuff like that. But on the other hand, now it's difficult to find. But you know what? That's a good problem to have.
Yeah, for you to spend, it was always going to be a limited edition. But for the people that did spend that loot and get it, they got some limited edition stuff. Like you ain't gonna just find that nowhere, which is kind of cool. I wish I had gone to day 2 instead of 4. But anyway, cheers to you if you got some. Ralph Lauren Polo. Was it Polo? Or was it Hilfiger?
It was
Ralph
Polo.
Lauren. It was Ralph Lauren.
Polo, yeah.
But no, that just goes to the we need more exposure.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right,
what else? So back to this Favre nonsense. What he do?
All right, so Brett Favre.
Wait, are you talking about when he was stealing money from the Mississippi?
Right. The welfare money that he was stealing to send.
You just heard about that today?
No. So there's a new twist in it, in that he is suing. He himself is suing 3 people. He's suing Shad White, who I believe is one of the investigators who looked into the fraud in the state of Mississippi. He's suing Shannon Sharp.
What?
Fox Sports, and he's suing Pat McAfee.
What's the basis of his lawsuits?
He's suing all of them for defamation of character.
But
remember,
I'm gonna do my best imitation of a gift. What the hell? Why is this?
How is he? But this makes no.
Now remember, I want you to remember that when this all came out and all the news started linking about how did we get here and how did this happen and did he actually know? And he was like, "Well, I had no idea." And then the text messages came out.
You sure I'm not gonna get in trouble for this?
Right. That one in particular.
So, something shady Everyone's seen the text messages. They call you an a-hole for it, and now you mad they call you an a-hole because we got proof of you being an a-hole.
How is this defamation of character when I am merely expressing my opinion of the character you've shown? If I say you ain't shit, you probably ain't. And then how are you suing when you already got the money?
Right. When they after he gave it back, he should have just went away quietly and just tucked his head in. He should have just went away.
You mad, bro? Yeah,
That,
I mean,
but that
this
would be the right
reminds me
thing
of
to do. I mean, the right thing to do.
everything like this reminds me of that Will Ferrell movie. It was Will Ferrell and Zach Galifianakis when he was running for office.
Oh yes, I know the movie you're talking about.
And he got mad at Zach and was going to punch him in the face, and Zach ducked, and he accidentally punched a baby in the face.
Yes.
And everybody was like, "Oh my God, you punched a baby!" He's like, "What? No, I didn't." "Yes, you did. You punched a baby." "Well, he hurt my hand, so I don't know. We both."
Wow.
Yes.
I think about that every time I see somebody filing a frivolous lawsuit, and when you know you're wrong and you're trying to come up with an excuse or whatever, "You punched a baby." "Well, he hurt my hand, so we're even." This is what we doing? This is what we're doing right now, and that is what Brett Favre is doing.
He should have just walked away. He should have just walked away.
But I mean, he pulled the OJ. I'm gonna come out here and act a whole ass. You know.
Here's the icing on the top of that cake. He has a drug company that's developing a concussion drug.
What?
Hold on. This company has also received funds as well from So the welfare funds that he got, that he basically forwarded to the school, his daughter's school, he also put into his drug company.
So just as a quick side note, did either of you hear what the final amount of money was? No. It was either 75 or 77 million in misappropriated welfare funds.
Wow. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So he's a welfare king.
Yeah.
Basically, yes.
And a story that I saw, it's been a couple days now. Whoever it is that is supposed to disperse these funds to the people who need them, there is no law actually on the books that says you have to do it.
Of course not.
And if you don't do it, there are no checks and balances is what I'm trying to get to, because the story that I was watching essentially said that this money, at least in Mississippi, possibly in other states, but because of Brett Favre, they were focusing on Mississippi, that it just became a slush fund for the governor's office.
Yeah.
And they spend it on whatever it is that they want. And again, my thing is, if I'm not mistaken, one of the numbers that was tossed around was Brett Favre has made over $100 million within his NFL and endorsement career. But you need to steal $5 million in welfare funds?
Mr. Burns steals candy from babies all the time.
Basically.
That is very true. He does.
I remember Patrice O'Neal talking about what it takes to be filthy rich. And he's like, you got to like get off on tragedy and misery of other people. He goes, there's people right now, like, you know, if I see a tsunami on television or a typhoon, I'm like, oh my God, what happened to those people? He goes, there's some folks out there, they be like, what, a tsunami? What else? And then what else happened? You know, and they over there just getting excited, like, oh, got chills. I can make some money off of this earthquake or whatever.
Yeah.
A lot of wars are waged just to prop up some revenue streams and some bottom dollars. So it doesn't surprise me at all that someone that already has everything would continue to steal because the problem is, like you said, there were no checks and balances. Who's going to check them?
Right.
And the idea that you can do something and you're going to do it because you can and not because it's right is another thing that's wrong with this country. And I was educated recently by a friend of mine. This is third-party knowledge, but he was having a conversation with somebody and he made a reference to whatever bad thing somebody had done. He's like, well, you know, that's just human nature. And the woman corrected him because she was from, I want to say she was from Bali, but she corrected him and she's like, this is not human nature, what y'all are doing here in the United States. This is United States culture. Human nature inherently doesn't do this, but y'all condition yourselves to be cruel to each other. And I was like, that is deep. I could relate it to capitalism and the corruption that goes along with it, but yeah, we raise each other to get to beat each other up, you know. and to steal, even if you don't need to, even if you need to steal. Now they'll put somebody in jail for 3 years for taking a loaf of bread or a TV, but Brett is over here suing someone else for defamation of character.
You're suing the investigator whose job was to find out what happened to the money.
Well, he hurt my hand.
That's just,
Oh man.
Um,
Those are my top 2 right now. I got
So-
other stuff, but it can wait till later.
well, bring it, because I'm trying to remember what was the name of the kid. There was a young white kid that recently
Marcus Stokes.
Marcus Stokes. Can we talk about Stokes real quick for a second?
let's do it.
Marcus Stokes.
Marcus Stokes, if you can hear me, bruh, the fuck you doing? That's just all I want to let you. You know this is gonna follow you for the rest of your life, right? What possessed you to do that? Okay, so if you don't know the story, Marcus Stokes is a young white, very, very extremely talented scouted football player. He's a quarterback, right?
Quarterback, yeah.
Yeah, he was going to University of
University of
Florida.
Florida.
He had a full ride, and then he got caught on video in somebody's vehicle singing some explicit lyrics rap song, saying all the lyrics, and you know what I mean when I say that. So now he's on camera popping N-words out of his mouth, and University of Florida rescinded his scholarship. You can't come here not saying that. What would it look like? Optics of everything. For a bit, was it Albany State? A couple of
Albany
black
State.
colleges were like, hey, bro, you come over here. We'll take that D1 talent. But even they got dragged so bad by Black Twitter and their own alumni that they had to say, no, okay, never mind. I don't know where he's going to be right now, but I want all of y'all to hear me. If you have children, if you are somewhere between the ages of 14 and 24, I want you to hear me when I tell you this. The internet is forever. Don't ever think that somebody's not going to see what you did. You spend too much time, especially the younger generations, wanting to be tagged, wanting to get liked, wanting to go viral, that you don't realize. And what it does, future employers, future colleges, future people who are concerned about the image of their entity, whether it's a school or a building or a company, they ain't really trying to let you just come in there looking any kind of way. You're hurting yourself. There he is.
Yep.
There he is.
Now, because it's Florida, I'm wondering how long until DeSantis gets involved in this.
Oh, DeSantis will have him as a running mate in 2024, I'm sure. And I'm pretty sure that he's not a bad kid. He probably has a lot of black friends. Well, he knows a lot of black people, and he's hung with them to feel comfortable doing that around him. But if he had real black friends, they'd have told him, hey, bruh, don't be saying this around nobody else.
Don't do this on video.
Don't do this on video. Don't do this. Yeah, I think about the same with Sha'Carri Richardson back in the day from the Olympics. Her friends should have said, I know you're hurting, girl. I know you're feeling bad right now, but you about to pop positive. We cannot let you do this to yourself. Real friends would have stopped her, and they would have stopped him.
See, thinking about Sha'Carri Richardson, the thing that I think about when we were growing up, or at least when I was growing up, I won't speak for the two of you because we didn't grow up together, but when I was growing up, the guys that I knew who were on the corner selling weed, there were certain people, they'd be like, nah, you got a future. You need to go on and get away from us. There were certain people they just would not sell to because they knew that person had a way up out of this situation. And I'm kind of disappointed. And I know this is a really odd thing to say, but I'm disappointed we don't have those same kind of drug dealers who were like, no. You got a future, Sha'Carri. You can't be, we get it, you hurting, but you can get out of this situation.
We still have those types of drug dealers. We still have.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the problem was these are her friends that let her get that. They gave it to her.
Oh,
her friends did not have her back, and they were they were enabling and being indulgent, and there were a lot of other ways she could have got blind drunk and still been able to run in the Olympics. It was popping for particularly a controlled substance that got her. Whether or not weed should be a controlled substance is a whole nother argument, and it's legal in a lot of places, but not at the Olympics, and you do that. But my thing is, protect the people around you. One of my friends is one of my friends, y'all don't know him, is in public office. And every time I see him, Like I saw him at a party right around Christmas, and somebody's like, "Hey, can I get a picture?" And me and the other guy that was with him, we all friends, knocked the cup of water out of his hand. And we're like, "Nah, bro, you can't be taking pictures with this cup of water." And he was like,
Right.
"It's just water.
Nope.
It'll look like alcohol in
Yep.
the picture. We're not letting you take this picture with no cups in your hand." Right? Don't nobody need to know how much fun you was having at this party.
Right,
And he was
exactly.
sober the whole night. But that would have been a different story on Instagram. And so when I remember Stacey Abrams popping by the class of 95 tent at Spelman and Morehouse Homecoming, and we were all like, "Hey, Stacey, hey, oh, hey, girl, you can't be in here. We drinking in here. It's good to see you. You got to go." Good to see you. Beat it, because we drinking all kind of things in here. We do not want photo ops over here.
Right.
And the next year, well, that was fall of 2018, right before she ran for office. But the next time we did something in public was last year, and she came through again. And this time, "Hello, Stacey. Please stand over here, away from the alcohol. All the pictures you want to take, we got a backdrop and everything. Nice little photo op for the class of 95. You can't be just running up on us with liquor in our hands. We don't want to embarrass you, and we don't want to make you look bad." And so bringing it right back around to Mr. Stokes, Mr. Stokes over here, Marcus Stokes, whoever his friends were, they weren't really good friends, because they could have stopped him from doing that. Or I'm being a little uncharitable. Maybe they didn't know either, because a lot of folks in that Z or Alpha for him generation, the baby generation.
Yeah.
They've grown up with the internet all around them. It is perfectly natural to them to record themselves doing something and see if anybody else is going to like it. They don't really care about privacy like the paranoid Generation X does with all our VPNs and whatnot. They just out there having fun, and they figure everybody's going to see it anyway, and they don't think about the future. Who among us thought about anything beyond what we was wearing to the next party when we were in high school? Right? You don't think about being college. 30 is old as hell when you're in high school. You might almost dead,
That's what it's like now when my younger cousins are doing stuff. I'm like, stop recording that. And they get mad at me like, "Why you won't let us have any fun?" I'm like, whoa. I'm not telling you not to do the stuff. I'm not telling you not to have fun. I'm telling you, stop recording and posting everything that you do. To which, and then I will go and show them pictures and videos from when I was in school. And they like, "But you ain't in none of this." Exactly.
There is no evidence that I ever attended Freaknik ever.
Now, granted, I'm not.
Never heard of Freaknik. What are you talking about?
I don't even know what that is.
I'm not in anybody's public office. I was never a D1 athlete, but I've actually got some younger cousins that actually have legitimate chances. I was like, nope. You're not posting. Nope. You can get out of your situation. You are not posting this.
Now, don't do this to yourself. Yeah.
Right.
And I remember my mom used to harp on me like, "You can't do this, you can't do that. It's going to be in your permanent record." And I thought she was such a stick in the mud. And now I'm so glad that she did that, because I don't have anything haunting me from my earlier years. And this is particular. I'm jumping into the whole racism thing again. This is particular to Black people. We have spent, for those of us who have had a chance to make it out, that are mixing or thriving or being successful in non-Black spaces, etc. We've been on that, I got to be careful what I do and say and who sees me. We've been on that hypervigilance since what? High school, college, first job. We grew up knowing you can't say everything to everybody. You can't trust nobody. Don't get recorded. You don't know what's going to be used against you, etc. And when I hear like white people say things like, "We're oversensitive, blah, blah, blah," I'm like, you don't understand. And now I hear a lot of white folks saying, because I do D&I during the day, that they feel so much pressure because they have to watch what they say, and they never know who might be listening if they slip up, etc. I was like, welcome to my world. I've been doing this for 49 years at this point. And you've been doing it for a month and a half, and it's hard. And now you understand the stress level that everybody else has. So that's equity as far as I'm concerned. You can be nervous all the time too.
Right.
Good luck with that. Okay, I'm gonna be quiet.
And I bet going forward, Stokes will be a lot more careful about what he lets people record, because I'm sure somebody is gonna get a hold of this kid. And good Lord, I'm an old man. I'm calling a grown up a kid. Somebody is going to get their hand. Somebody's going to get a hold of this kid, and he's going to get a publicist, or just he's going to get a team of people. I don't know who's going to pay for it, but somebody is going to get a team of people around him to kind of
Clean him up.
Get him to do whatever needs to be done to smooth this over, so that he could be at some other D1 school and keep making that money.
Oh no! It won't be D1. It'll be D2 or 3. It'll be D2. So? He will not immediately go back to D1 because of this. That no one wants that stain this coming fall.
Well, no. I don't think it'll be that soon. I'm saying however long it takes his team.
Oh yeah. Eventually he'll get to a D1 school. Yes.
Yeah.
Because he'll have to pay his dues at a JUCO or D3 or D2, whichever one of those institutions decides to take mercy on him and be like,
be all right.
But he will get a shot.
Yeah, he's going to be somebody's redemption story.
Right. And that's the other issue I have, because he's going to get a second chance.
Yeah.
And whereas if it was a black kid in this situation who did something egregious, the bus would be backed up over him. He'd be dead and buried. People be asking for charges to be pressed against him and everything because of what he said, and it'd be categorized as a hate crime.
Yeah.
But because I look at the Bosas and look, the Bosas, Nick and Joey are defensive ends for the Chargers and the 49ers. I don't like neither one of them as people. Whenever the names come up as far as football in general, I tune out because I don't want to talk about them. As far as I'm concerned, they are, prejudiced at worst and bigots at best. Because and I don't remember which one, but pretty much they've both done it. One of them pretty much made headlines the year they were drafted because they were recorded on video calling Jay-Z a monkey.
I remember that.
And something disparaging about Beyonce.
And they lived through that? The Beehive let them live? They must not have known where they live. You ain't going to say something bad about Beyonce and get away with it. Not on Beyonce's internet.
It was just, and basically he's laughing the whole time through whatever it is that because it's not like he said this off the cuff. He had given this thought because he had written it down and read what he had written down. So there was intent in there when he recorded himself saying all this and put it out there on the internet. And it was found because it's the NFL draft. They will find any and everything one way or the other.
Yep.
And look, they both still got drafted in the first round by their respective teams. They're having very well NFL careers, but pretty much when the names come up, I tune out because neither of them has.
I don't mess with you.
Neither one of them has even offered anything remotely close to an apology.
Why should they? Apologize to who? For what? They haven't done anything to white people.
So
right.
That's the double standard we deal with when it comes to messing up and sports.
Yeah.
Because it's the white thing to do.
Yeah. But enough about racism. Although you'd have to basically stop breathing to get away from it in the United States.
Furious, what you got?
What's our next story?
So one of the things I'd like to talk about is LeBron James and him surpassing. You know what, Jack? Wake up, old man!
What?
You can't take a nap.
What?
About LeBron James surpassing Kareem on the all-time scoring list.
Oh, cool.
Which it's interesting because
when is Delroy Lindo just going to go ahead and admit that LeBron James is his love child with Diane Carroll? Like, I'm waiting on that to come out.
I said that to somebody. Sometimes I'll post pictures of celebrities who look alike, and I always say separated at birth. But when I posted one of Delroy Lindo right in another picture side by side with LeBron. I was like, they weren't separated at birth. This is his kid. I just needed to just come on and say it.
LeBron, just come on. Let's let LeBron's mama just go ahead and let everybody know he was on the set at Hollywood back in the day. Things got out of hand. Y'all drinking some Ripple and Hennessy late at night, and LeBron. This is what happened. But
so one of the things that I like about it is now, I mean, I'm old enough to remember seeing games when Kareem was still playing. When Kareem hit the 30, hold on, what was his number? Kareem's is 30.
Lou Alcindor?
Yes,
it was Lou Alcindor. He was born Lou Alcindor and changed it to Kareem
and converted to Islam. Yeah. So Kareem's number is 38,387 points, and LeBron's total right now is 38,390, and it actually may have gone up because I don't know if the Lakers are playing tonight or not.
I think they are.
So is this a function of like total points over your career?
Yes.
Well, I don't think that's fair. Isn't he playing many like longer times?
So that's actually something that has been brought up. When you look at the list of, I'll just give the top few players. LeBron is number 1, Kareem is number 2, Karl Malone is 3, Kobe is 4, Michael Jordan is 5, Dirk Nowitzki is 6, Chamberlain is 7, Shaq is 8th, Carmelo Anthony is 9, and 10 is Moses Malone. It's a lot of other people on the list, but one of the things that made Kareem's number so special was he was the first player to make it to 20 years in the league.
Mm-hmm.
And actually with LeBron, this is his 18th year, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
So who knows if
even at a rate of play, he's beating him. Okay.
But
18th year, but 17th season. Remember, he missed an entire year due to injury.
But a lot of people, Joy, have brought up that same concern is, well, he's played forever. But again, Kareem was the first 20-year player.
Mm-hmm.
Now, one of the things to me that makes this kind of interesting is something, and I didn't pick up on this. This I heard from Emmanuel Acho.
Oh, God.
Yeah. So when Kareem scored his 38, his total, 38 weeks later, LeBron James was born.
Are we doing numerology today?
Yes. and again, I'm not one who usually leans into stuff like this, but after I heard Emmanuel, I was like, okay, wait a minute, this actually sounds kind of interesting. So again, Kareem hits his 38,000, whatever. 38 weeks later, LeBron James is born. 38 years later, LeBron breaks Kareem's record of 38,000 and some change. 38 weeks later, 38 years later, and 38,000 points. Again, I'm not necessarily a numerology kind of person, but it is kind of interesting how we keep seeing 38 repeating in this particular scenario.
Man, I mean, Karl Malone played 20 years. That's why he's third.
Yep.
Jordan didn't play 20.
Nope. And I don't know, how many years did Kobe play?
Kobe played 20.
Okay. Yep, and that was the other thing that I heard some people mentioning is we're hitting a point where a 20-year NBA career is no longer an oddity because
technically it is.
Is it?
It still is, because to play 20 years, you practically have to come out of high school and be good enough to last that long.
Yeah.
Fair.
Because in your mid-30s, your game pretty much starts falling off.
Fair.
There's more numerology there because, like you said, the 38 weeks, the 38 years for the 38,000 points. And if you think about the numbers 3 and 8, 8 is the cube root of 2. So 2 times 2 times 2 is 8. And so if you have the third cube of 8 equals 2, and you move the 8 and the 2 around, so the 2 and the 8 and leave the 3 over there, that's when the Falcons blew a 28-3 lead.
You know what, Joy?
Yes. Oh.
I had to actually look up, do some math real quick. Like, how can I make this work? Let me look real quick and figure out. That's why numerology is bogus. Because I'm sitting here with a calculator. Like, how can I make something out of 8
Joy,
and 3
you
and
used
38?
to be my friend.
I'm still your friend.
No, you're not.
Only
no,
friends
you're not.
do you dirty like that.
No,
Strangers would be a little bit worried. I love you.
No,
I
you
love
don't.
you.
You don't love me.
Serious?
No, you don't.
I
You
do.
just love to make fun of me.
Yes.
I mean,
that
I love
too.
to make fun of you too, but I would never bring up that. Not to you specifically. Other Falcons fans who I know are like bandwagon fair weather knuckleheads, I will mention that all day. You, sir, are one of the few true blue Falcons fans I know. I don't wish that mockery on anyone.
That's messed up, Joy.
It was messed up.
That's messed up.
No
I
regrets.
mean, it was still funny, but it was messed up.
No regrets. No regrets.
When I get my get back, just remember you did this to yourself.
I fully expect it. I don't know what it'll be about.
Nope.
But I know that it is coming and it's gonna be brutal. I mean, because you know what good is sparring if you're using wooden swords? This shit got cut. So
Yep.
he gave you the finger. I feel like I accomplished something. I don't know if I've ever pissed you off.
You
before.
did. That is by far the deepest wound for any hardcore Falcons fan.
That's messed up. That's messed up.
He's gonna keep saying that's messed up. Okay, let's move on. Let's move on. Here, don't dwell on it too long. It's not like this is being recorded or anything. It's okay. Anybody gonna hear it.
So the only reason I didn't want to bring up LeBron, and again,
why are we talking about LeBron?
The accomplishment.
What about the 38 centimeters of hairline that he has lost?
Look, the accomplishment of setting new scoring record. Congratulations, golf clap all around. Good job. And if that was the end of the celebration for him, cool. Where I basically tuned out with sports media for this week was the reoccurring debate of him. A lot of the younger basketball analysts say he is by far leaps and bounds, head and shoulders better than MJ ever was.
Well, James, did you notice how I didn't bring that conversation up?
I know, and that's why I didn't want to talk about LeBron at all, because that's a discussion I don't like having.
Well, why'd you say it? We wasn't going to talk about it.
Oh no, I had no intentions. I was only bringing it up for the accomplishment of the score of him surpassing.
Okay, cool.
And looking at some of the other players that are on this list, there are a few active players that are still on the list.
But you're going to see older players on the list because they've been in the league. Well, they were in the NBA longer. But other people's going to have to grow, get older.
The only person still in the league that's on this list is Kevin Durant, and he's at 26,000. Like, I don't see anybody surpassing LeBron's 38, whatever.
No,
it's
anytime soon. Yeah,
you got to have the longevity and the skill to score an average of 20 points a game.
Yeah,
and it'll be 40,000 points when he retires.
Right? Because and it might be more than that. Because honestly,
I'm being generous. At least 40,000.
I could see him playing for another 2 years.
Yeah.
I mean, from a physical perspective. I mean, even if you were to put him side by side, 38-year-old LeBron would say 25-year-old LeBron. Say you could measure and see where he's getting a little bit slower. Even at 38 and a little slower than 25, he's still faster, stronger than so many other people in the league. So who knows how long it's going to take. I could easily see it taking another 15, 20 years for somebody to beat his numbers.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Yeah. But no, that was the
people saying that LeBron is better than MJ is like people saying that Mike Tyson is better than Muhammad Ali. Like, you're really comparing two completely different entities.
Whenever the GOAT conversation comes up, my perspective is I don't believe in the greatest of all time. Okay. I believe in the greatest
of their generation.
Yeah. Exactly. Because, the only way we can see Michael Jordan and LeBron in their prime is in a video game.
Right.
So that's why, again, for me, it's the greatest of this generation. Greatest of all time. Just in my humble opinion, I don't believe that person exists because every generation is different. Like the thing
it's like comparing Smokey Robinson and Maxwell. Like, no, it's different.
Yep. I mean,
incidentally, y'all go look at Smokey Robinson on the internet. Look at the all the names of all the songs on his most recent album.
Nope.
Smokey is Mrs. Still Your Great Grandma.
I saw the album titles called Gasm, so I can imagine what the titles are.
Yes.
Yeah. The other
Smokey
thing
nasty.
I mean, but yeah.
Look, octogenarians got to get it in too.
No, they don't. They do not.
Yes, they do.
Just lay there and be glad to be alive. Why are you
really, Joy? You're not gonna want to still be getting it in when you get that old.
Remember that when you turn 80 plus,
right?
Okay.
Now, whether or not you are physically able to is one thing, but you will still want to.
I'm hoping there'll be a VR chamber for that by then. Why is she in the holodeck again? Mind your business, little boy. Bring me some more water.
All right, Regina Barkley.
Somebody, who was it, Matt? I don't know who it was, but somebody did a spoof about that, about what really goes on in the holodeck. And I was like, I don't want to be the person that has to clean that up.
It was Robot Chicken.
Oh, Robot. Okay, thank you.
It was Robot Chicken. Yeah. I'm pretty sure it was.
Don't want to be that person. The other thing I wanted to bring up, and I'm sure everybody is talking about it, but the fact that we've got 2 black quarterbacks playing in the Super Bowl.
That's what's up.
I love it. And just us being black, it's so
during Black History Month at that.
Right? But no, a lot of the commercials I've been seeing are talking about the 2 brothers playing in the Super Bowl. And I'm like, you mean Patrick and Herndon? And they're like, no, like I'm like, oh shit. So no, it's been interesting seeing that conversation every time somebody says the 2 brothers, and depending on who you're talking to, you're going to get either
frame of reference.
Yep. So I as a huge fan of football, as a huge proponent of, I want to see more black quarterbacks, more black coaches, finally some black owners. I love the fact that the 2 best players, or the 2 best quarterbacks, I should say, in the Super Bowl are 2 black dudes. And it just makes me happy every time I think about it.
Yeah. I mean, I'm going to be a little bit less charitable and say the 2 best teams are, well, the 2 teams that are going to the Super Bowl, which means that they had the best records of the year, have black quarterbacks. Are they the 2 best quarterbacks in the league? Maybe not. Maybe somebody else has maybe a little bit better talent and just doesn't have the support around them. I can't speak to that. But what I can speak to is the fact that this proves, beyond a shadow of a doubt, that black people can quarterback. Because I'm old enough to remember when Doug Williams was the first black quarterback to make it to the Super Bowl. And all of the resistance that he got, because people, and by people I mean white people, thought that that had decision-making power in the NFL, thought that black men lacked the mental capacity for the agility, the awareness, etc., to quarterback, because you got to keep your eye on everything. You got to know all the plays. Like, they just weren't smart enough to do it. You can run and you can catch, but you can't think. And now here we have 2 very cerebral quarterbacks who happen to be black, playing in the Super Bowl, and the game hasn't suffered. Like, people like, well, if we do all that, the game's gonna go down. The game is at the top, the prime it's always been. As a matter of fact, the games have gotten more interesting as people have started to come back to supporting the sport.
And one of the other things that's interesting, if you look at the landscape, just if you look at other quarterbacks in the league, specifically some of the younger white quarterbacks, they're playing just like the black quarterbacks do, because now it's every quarterback has to be a dual threat. You have to be a good passer, and you also have to be able to scramble, and not just scramble and get 1 or 2 yards.
But like you got to be able to shuck them dry. Like, no, that's the wrong phrase. That is the wrong phrase. You got to be able to shake and bake, is what I meant.
You need mobility. So even if you can't,
you got to know how to juke somebody.
Well,
and they've learned
that this being able to move out of the pocket, get to the edge, make a solid, all that stuff. So yes.
And you got to remember, this is more than just all of a sudden you got some white quarterbacks that play like black. You got white quarterbacks that have grown up on peewee leagues and everything else that have black players with them. So they've been around black kids, black teenagers, black college students, or whatever, their entire life, not just their sports career. So of course, when you want to succeed in something, you adopt the most popular, the most successful behavior, and that is what you're seeing now. They grew up like that.
So that's one thing that I love about seeing these 2 young men, is how they are changing the game, and just the things that we've always said about black quarterbacks. Everyone's like, oh, you know what? We need that too. It's happening. We are changing. I mean, granted, I'm a firm believer that black people are a force for change in anything we get involved in. Just give it enough time, and you will see us push and move forward, whatever the thing is that we're involved in. And I love seeing how we have changed what teams look at when it comes to quarterbacks.
Right. And now that we know that there used to be a black hockey league before Canada ever got into hockey, we coming for hockey too. Yeah, just wait.
When I found out, I didn't know very much about hockey growing up. I thought everybody who played hockey was like Wayne Gretzky. I didn't realize there were people whose title in hockey was enforcer, and it was to make sure nobody hurt the Wayne Gretzky on your team. I'm sitting there thinking to myself, I didn't grow up in an area where I could have played hockey anyway, but it would have been nice to have the option because I get paid to kind of
Take people
shoulder
out.
check the life out of somebody like a Titan in Destiny. Just Yep.
Right. Oh, that would have been so nice.
AKA the Goons.
Yep.
Yes, the Goon
Pretty
Squad.
much. Yep.
But yeah, the what Mahomes and Hurts are doing is phenomenal. Unfortunately, though, as bright as this is, as recently as the drafting of Lamar Jackson, there were sophisticated know-it-alls who were like, he needs to change positions because he's not going to make it in the NFL. And here he is standing this offseason because he is a free agent.
Yep.
Trying to get the most guaranteed money ever get offered to a quarterback.
Yeah.
Which, if Baltimore don't give it to him, somebody else will. So.
I'm just saying, I know this team that, could use a quarterback that's got a lot of free cap space right now.
Y'all riding Desmond Ritter.
Y'all
already said that. Y'all riding Desmond Ritter. That's what y'all drafted him for.
You know what? You're absolutely right. But if the option came up to get Lamar Jackson, I'd be willing to take my chances. I would be willing to make that gamble because we've got a young team that is still trying to figure out how to play together.
And that's why you won't get Lamar Jackson.
Well, probably. I'm just saying, I wouldn't mind seeing Lamar Jackson in a Falcons jersey.
I know you wouldn't.
Just saying.
Don't take his dreams. He can dream.
I'm just saying.
I hope it happens for you, Furious.
Really? After what you did earlier?
Shut up.
I have not forgotten about that.
I know.
Okay. It's okay though, Joy. It's okay. Again, just know it's coming. It's coming.
That's fine. That's actually the first time I ever made a 28-3 joke ever, and I thought they were lame, but the chance was there, and I did it, and I shot my shot, and I will die clearly on this hill.
Oh my gosh!
So I am sorry. I didn't realize you were that sensitive about it. I may have rethought that, but I couldn't let that chance get away from me, and I apologize. But you can still come at me. Come at me, bro.
Oh my goodness. Just shameful.
It's just people do dirt and then they go and apologize later. Like, I'm so sorry about what I did on television later. I'm gonna apologize to you in the same spot where I said something dirty to you. I am sorry. I did not know that you were that much of a fan like that.
I bleed red and black.
Mm-hmm.
I bleed red and black.
For those not really caring about the outcome of the game on Sunday, there are some interesting prop bets going around.
What are the prop bets?
Well, the most number of tickets bought for prop bets revolve around one Travis Kelce, and whether he'll score a touchdown, score the first touchdown, or score multiple touchdowns. Those are the most ones by tickets bought. The most by money taken in is whether the coin toss will be heads and tails. Will a quarterback have a reception, catching a pass? Kelce again scoring a touchdown, and Jalen Hurts passing yardage number.
Now they're not even talking about the serious stuff. What is Rihanna gonna be wearing during this halftime show?
Wait, hold on, but James, here's a quick question I have. When they make this, are they making a distinction between which Kelce?
Travis.
Okay.
It's Travis. It'll be pretty hard to figure out something to get Jason to catch a touchdown pass. I mean, he would literally have to report eligible, which means he can't snap the ball.
Fair.
But yeah, as my work wife has pretty much mentioned since this month has started, she hit me up like, "Hey, long time no chat. When's the Rihanna concert?" To which I said, "Because it's you, I know you're talking about the Super Bowl, but I'm gonna let you have this. The concert is Sunday the 12th."
Is this Sunday? Oh yeah.
Yep, the Super Bowl.
And she hit me up again today. So the concert is Sunday, right? Yep.
What time does the game start?
6:30.
Okay.
Eastern time.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
well, it's definitely going to be an interesting one and you know what? I am also looking forward to the halftime show. So
who else is with Rihanna? Not that it matters.
I don't know.
But it does spark a difference and a change in the NFL as a whole. Because I remember after they allegedly blacklisted Kaepernick and all the other things that were going on, no black people would play the Super Bowl. And she was a very vocal when she's like, y'all lost y'all ever loving mind if you think I'm coming up in there. And so for her to be playing the Super Bowl now means that she must have seen, because Rihanna was serious about her activism, she must have seen something that said, okay, they made her say, okay, I'll come do it. Or they donated a hell of a lot of money to the charities that she supports.
Mm-hmm.
They might have like changed the whole economic outlay of Trinidad for her to do that.
I'm guessing the latter as opposed to the former, because they still doing crazy, shady stuff dirt behind the scenes. Look, the coaching carousel is still a mess. Yes, a black coordinator was hired as a head coach a couple of weeks ago, but there's other things going on with the league in general as far as how they treat their veterans.
Yeah.
The race norming with those who
suffer that nonsense
is still a thing because those players are still filing suit. So.
Yeah. But
curse you, white supremacy.
As we roll up on our hour, I'd like to say thank you all for joining in with us as we have our nerdy sports rant, which I guess tonight wasn't necessarily as nerdy as it's been in the past, but hey, we don't necessarily have to be as nerdy as we always are.
Mm-hmm. That's because I keep dumbing it down, but don't worry. I think I got another girl sports nerd for y'all. If she works out, we'll see.
All righty, sounds good to me. But yes, on behalf of James and Joy and myself, thank you all for joining us.
Have a great night.
We will see you all later.
So many stories left to tell, even if we have to ourselves. Can't keep history on the shelf. If we won't tell it, we will.
If this the land of the free, it was a freedom then, when they annexed Hawaii and called it Cedar Lands, without any type of payment and no signing off. Called themselves the Republic in 1894. 1.2 million acres overtaken from the native Hawaiians. When they resisted, the West retaliated in violence and erasure. The Hawaiian language was banned as part of colonialism's plan to expand, yeah.
Stuck between a rock and a hard place. Multiple bombings of Kaho'olawe as a part of their ongoing war with Asia. Used it as a place for target practice. No consent or compensation. Colonizers call for annexation. No work out for all the locals. School will never let you know. So many stories left to tell, even if we have to ourselves. Can't keep history on the shelf. If we won't tell it, we will. Too many stories left to tell, even if we have to ourselves. Can't keep history on the shelf. If we won't tell it, we will. We will.
So if we put Hawaii into perspective, well, Black and Asian history is interconnected. Considering the fight with the Pacific, then of course, versus Asia, they was treated as a middleman for war, but they didn't let the Western colorism run its course, cause dark skin was a sign of dignity to core. The land was taken in the name of capitalism, when prior to it was an actual kingdom, clapped back at the system.
Stuck between a rock and a hard place. Multiple bombings of Kaho'olawe as a part of their ongoing war with Asia. Used it as a place for target practice. No consent or compensation. Colonizers call for annexation. No work out for all the locals. School will never let you know. So many stories left to tell, even if we have to ourselves. Can't keep history on the shelf. If we won't tell it, we will. Too many stories left to tell, even if we have to ourselves. Can't keep history on the shelf. If we won't tell it, we will. So many stories left to tell, even if we have to ourselves. Can't keep history on the shelf. If we won't tell it, we will. Too many stories left to tell, even if we have to ourselves. Can't keep history on the shelf. If we won't tell it, we will. We will.